What is up, everyone? It's your boy Gamer797, and what a week for Nintendo. Today they did the Switch 2 Direct, which has been long and awaited, and they announced so many things, just as well as the Direct they did last week on March 27th. So I am so excited to go over everything that they have done today and just talk about really everything that happened in the Switch Direct today, because so much has happened, and I can't do it without you guys. So let's get over to everything we've done. But first, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, because it helps the channel out, and I don't make videos that much, but when I do, I make them nice and quality. So let's get to it. So the first thing that they opened up today was with Mario Kart World. So we could see everything that's been confirmed. There's 24 players. The character models have been revisited, because if you remember the original player models, they looked kind of funky, but now they have been switched up, and I have to say, this game is looking pretty fire. You will be able to play multiple different game modes, including free roam, knockout, and you will be able to play everything in Mario Kart World. It's a really cool game, and I definitely recommend checking out. For Game Chat was also announced today. So if you know about anything about the C button that could be found on the controller, that is going to be used to use chat. So you will be able to click the C button and get into a chat with up to 4 people, including yourself. You could do this in any game at any time. You could see that there is a microphone on top of the Nintendo Switch for feedback, and it definitely gives you a lot of space up to talk about that, because you're able to talk, and it noise cancellates automatically. As you can see, the blender, it's going to noise cancellate. So this is really cool. All this stuff is really interesting. When you click the C button, when you click the C button, it will unlock a sort of menu where you'll be able to do a couple of things. It will be able to screen share just like this. You'll be able to pull up someone else's screen. You'll be able to share your own. And you'll be able to see this all on the bottom of the voice chat. So this is really cool, and especially when you do the voice chat, you're able to connect a camera to the top of it. So the USB-C button, if we look right there, we could see the screen share, we could see the microphone, and the camera ability. Now, the Nintendo Switch 2 camera is also going to be for sale. Now, if you see anything on the top of the Switch, you'll see the button, not the button, the USB-C port. This is where you'll be able to plug in the camera and future devices as well. You will appear below on your little section there, and you'll be able to talk to your friends while seeing each other all on the bottom. The screen will still be pretty big, and the Nintendo is going to be able to process this all, as we're going to see in a little. Again, we're showing Mario Kart World. You're able to talk to your friends. You'll also be able to eventually play Mario Jamboree, especially like this. So that is actually really cool, and I like the features that they're trying to implement. The Direct today was insane, and it looks really cool. You could see that all of them is simulating them playing together in the voice chat. Perfect. Now, on to the Nintendo Switch hardware overview. If we go to the Nintendo Switch itself, it's a really cool. They did an overview look, and it looks pretty sick. We could see all the buttons and all the things together, and it playing Mario Kart. So that's awesome. So let's get into the specs of this thing. We're going to go over some important specs and the Nintendo Switch 2. So let's get to it. So the way the magnets work actually is there's a flowing curtain inside that makes it be able to hold together, and when you press the button, that's when you'll be able to use it, as we can see there. I like the way that they're making the magnets, but I'm wondering if the cable connector inside will be able to support it. We could also see that the mouse was able to be confirmed, as we will be able to play it in future games. The joysticks, the buttons, everything has been modernized and perfected to the best of its ability on the Nintendo Switch 2. The bigger screen, but it's also the same thickness as the original Switch, as the display is 7.9 inches compared to 6.2 inches, but the thickness is still 13.9 millimeters. The high-definition display is almost twice as big as the original Switches, making for some awesome content. You will be able to play 1080p as opposed to 720p in handheld mode. which is a big upgrade. The smooth gameplay is also going to be up to 120 FPS. If you want to play 120 FPS in handheld, you will need to play at 720p. And if you want to play at 60 frames per second, you could do it at 1080p. The LCD and the HDR support is graphically improved to the best of its ability. If you look at the two displays here, you will be able to see some massive differences before. And I think that is really cool. As we can see, the controllers, again, the magnets are not going to come off because there's an electrical current that keeps them together and requires you to press the button for easy detaching. The bigger SL and SR buttons are also a sign that you will be able to easily control it. Now on to the Breath of the Wilds and the Tears of the Kingdom. This is actually really cool because this is something new from Nintendo. Since the Switch 2 is going to be having such a graphical enhancement, you actually will have to pay for enhancements. So if you could see HDR support for vibrant images, all of this stuff is going to be available on Switch 2, but you will need to buy an upgrade pack, as we will see later. This is actually really cool. The loading times are faster. The graphics are really good, and they're really overall improved. But again, you will need to pay a Switch 2 enhancer, sort of. As you'll be able to see. You'll be able to see it soon. You will also be able to use the mobile app, and your save data will transfer. There is also a new mobile app coming called the Nintendo Switch app, so just like the PlayStation. And you will be able to use all your things for Zelda Notes, which will be available. And this will be available for most other games as well. Again, if we look at the Zelda Notes here, if you go on and log to your account on your phone, you could click on Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, for example. Again, the new app will be available in late May 2025. Again, right around the same time that the Nintendo Switch 2 will be launching on June 5th. The Zelda app will allow you to use everything for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom for navigation, and everything is kind of insane. For the Nintendo Switch, there's also going to be spatial audio. Now, if we look at the spatial audio, it's going to look pretty cool over here. We can see the two USB-C ports being in use on here. Again, the camera will be able to connect to there, and this is where we will be able to use the camera to use backwards. So in the docked mode, it's really cool. You will be able to plug the Switch in from the top in tabletop mode. I would not recommend plugging both of them in. The base Switch will also come with 256 gigabytes of storage and opposed to 32 gigabytes, which will allow for a lot of games. This is really cool, and I have to say, Nintendo has outdone themselves. The new dock will have support for 4K, as you will see, there is a cooling section there, too, to make sure that your Switch doesn't overheat. And that's why I think Nintendo has done an outstanding job, where you will be able to choose all these settings to what you want to play in TV mode and in handheld mode. The fan ventilation is powerful, and again, I apologize for the quality of this video, as I am trying to get it out as soon as possible. But the next big and final announcement of the Nintendo Switch was a new Legend of Zelda game. This game is fire, it looks awesome, and I would not change anything about it. We can see that this game is going to be about the origins of Hyrule. Will be mostly focused around Zelda. Don't know if you're going to play as Link. Maybe you'll get to play as Zelda, actually, because we haven't actually been able to see Link in this image. So we might be able to play as Zelda. This is really interesting. That is about it for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct that I wanted to come over. Again, I apologize for the quality of this video. I'm trying to get this out as soon as possible. To end things off, the Nintendo Switch will cost $449. And with the Nintendo Mario Kart World Bundle, will be $499. let's transition over to the latest Direct, which, not the latest, the 3/27/25 Direct. Thank you guys so much for everything you have supported, but make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so we can continue growing. The first thing I wanted to cover was this new game coming out called Tamagotchi Life. This really blew my mind when I saw the Direct because it looked really interesting and it looked really cool because we were able to see that it looks kind of like Animal Crossing in a sort of way. We are able to roam around an island, do emotes, do fighting, everything like a Tamagotchi. If you don't know what that is, it's basically this old toy that and still is around, where you're able to play with a person, sort of, that's talking to you and related to you, sort of, because on a device. It's really cool, and they're bringing it to the game that is coming out 2026. What an awesome game. Will I be covering this on the channel later? Don't know. If it's in future Directs, then probably. But if not, then comment down below if you want to see this. Comment down below what you think of this Direct, and that's about it for Tamagotchi Life. Again, we don't know that much information, though. Now, this was another cool game that caught my eye. We were able to see the Avengers here, and this was interesting because it came after a game that was kind of boring, and this is Marvel Cosmic Invasion. This is a SNES, Sega Genesis type of game where you're able to play as Marvel players, and this will be coming to Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. I really like this because it's just so retro that it literally gave me goosebumps watching this, if you know what I mean, as a hardcore Marvel fan. So seeing Venom there, seeing everyone there is perfect and so awesome. Captain America, Spider-Man. I don't know anything that much about the game. Again, we'll cover it if it comes later. But the graphics look really cool, especially for an SNES type of game. And Cosmic Invasion will be coming in the holidays of 2025. Perfect. The next game that was actually mentioned today and was mentioned in last week's Direct was Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Now, this game definitely caught my eye in the first Direct because it gave me a way of thinking of the mouse feature that is located on the Nintendo Switch. Personally, that was really cool. I liked that a lot. And I was thinking if we were going to be able to use this for this and future games, if you know what I mean. We were able to see Samus's psychic abilities as we walk around the 4K 60 FPS island. Now that again is going to be the max resolution that we will be able to use on the Nintendo Switch. The first person point of view is really interesting, and this is definitely a game that should be checked out. Now to the final announcement of today was awesome. It was truly amazing. We got virtual game cards. So to basically sum it over while the video is playing, a virtual game card is a digital game that is used as a game card. Now there are many benefits from using this, and it's truly amazing. I can't wait for this update coming. So all your digital games will become virtual game cards. We don't know if non-Nintendo licensed games will become them, but anything that is probably Nintendo licensed will be easily on there. When you buy a game, it will automatically be added to your virtual game card, which will be a new segment on the bottom of the Nintendo Switch, if you're able to see there. The virtual game cards can be loaded up onto the Switch by choosing any of them. You can check whose game card it is, and you're able to load it up on the Switch just like you would a regular game card. You can have a game card and load one on there, as certain as I am. So it has the same animation or a little thing there as a regular game card. Now loading onto a second system. Say for example your friend wants to borrow one of your games that's digital. You could link your Nintendo Switches, send him over the game, your game data stays the same, and then his game data will start brand new as soon as he loads up the game. This will be until he returns it, and you will be he or she returns it, and you are able to exchange as many games as possible and then return those games, which is really awesome. But again, you will need to link your Nintendo Switch on the same network. The first original time. After doing this, it will be good. Now, lending to a family member is the same thing. If you have the family member connected, you're able to lend them a game, again, through the local connection. Now, the thing is here, you don't actually have to get it back, because after 14 days, it will automatically send the game back to you. The same thing is they will get a notification that the game's added, be able to play the entire game, basically, and you're able to lend out to multiple family members. Now, a certain game, you're only able to lend out to one family member. So, like, you can't play, for example, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on both of them. Thank you guys so much for watching. What an incredible day for a Direct. I really appreciate everything that you guys have done for the channel. So make sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you're still watching. And if you've gotten this far, make sure to comment bogus in the chat. So, peace out.